Hey guys, Mason back here with Boredom. In today's video, I'll be comparing the two boards that BuildKit Boards offers. Hopefully by the end of today's video, you'll figure out which board is the right option for you, whether or not you're looking for a short board or a long board. I do want to let you know that everything I'm saying in this video is my own thoughts. No one is paying me or giving me a discount to say anything. I purchased the Dual with my own money and I borrowed my friend's Duo to make this comparison. Anyways, moving on to the comparison. If you look at a spreadsheet of the specs, comparing these two boards, you'll find that there's little to no difference. Both sport 6354 motors, 97mm wheels, a 10S3P 324 watt-hour battery, the same top speed and same range. So what is the actual difference? The difference is the form factor. Depending on your use case and riding preference, you'll need to make a decision for which board you will go with. That's what I'm going to try to cover in today's video. If you want the short summary so you can click off the video, here it is. If you're on campus and need a small portable e-skate for getting around and carry and store in small places like under a desk, get either Tayto kit, the single or dual, but I would spring for the dual out of personal preference. If you want a board to go on long group rides and want to throw some 6-inch pneumatic wheels on it, get the Duo. Done. Video over, click away if that's all you needed to hear. But if you know anything about skating, you would already know this. Let's break down the differences between these boards. With the dual, you're getting a short board, which like I said is great for campus, although none of us are there right now. It primarily comes down to four main differences between these two boards. I'm going to go in order of what I view as most important to least important in making your decision. These differences are the ride and form factor, waterproofing, upgradeability, fit and finish, and stock grip tape. Reason number one, rideability. This is probably the number one on your list when choosing an e-skate. The other specs don't really matter if you don't enjoy riding it. From my experience on both of the boards, I would say that the Tayto offers a twitchy carving feel that is addictive to me. I say that twitchy because it takes a bit for me to go from a board like the Duo back to the Tayto. Like I said in my initial review, the Kicktail is a game changer in terms of maneuverability and can make or break your commute. There's nothing worse than coming to a stop and having to move the board with your feet or pick it up to make a tight turn. This maneuverability does not come without its flaws though. Like I said, the board can be twitchy if you really loosen the trucks, leading to speed wobbles. I have unfortunately had experience with said things. I now run my trucks loose because I like them that way, but if you're not ready for that, tighten them up and work your way up. Another key flaw of a shortboard like this is the harshness of the ride itself. This is true with any shortboard. The decks are typically stiffer and your feet are right above the trucks, meaning that any bump you hit will go directly to your feet. This leads to early foot fatigue after a long ride or on a rough surface. On the flip side, the Duo's comfort in its ride over some of these surfaces helps reduce foot fatigue because of the deck absorbing some of the bumps in the flex because your feet are not directly above the trucks. Coming from riding a boosted V2 and then the Tayto, I would honestly say that the Duo feels cumbersome when riding. I don't know the exact culprit of this problem, but it feels like a long ski that you can only minorly adjust the directions as you are moving. My best guess would be that the track angles are the same as the Tayto, with the narrow trucks, high ride height, and excessive board length are all to blame in this department. I love carving on my boosted because of the lower profile. In comparison, the Duo feels unresponsive in this department. Adding a surf adapter to this board is a must in my opinion. It gives the board a sense of nimbleness that it lacks with the standard trucks and long wheelbase. This lack of nimbleness might not be a bad thing if you're just getting into riding or going for land speed records, but for me, it makes the Duo feel more like a long distance commuter where you're primarily going on longer straights and not carving a ton. Your mileage may vary as you might ride differently than I do. Moving on to reason number two. Regarding the weatherproofing on the Tayto, it has none. There are large gaps on the front of the housing and where the wires for the motors exit is just a hole open to the elements. On the Duo, however, there's a foam gasket that helps seal the enclosure against the board because it's thicker and extends around the entirety of the housing. The motor wires are also routed through much better managed glands. Although I would never trust either board under submersion for any length of time, I definitely see the improvements with water sealing on the Duo. If you live in a wet environment where puddles are consistent, this might be the only thing that you need to hear to make your decision. If this doesn't matter because you live in a drier area, then disregard this. I'm currently working on a video of modifications to make improvements to the Tayto in minor but meaningful ways, and included is adding weatherproofing, so if you're into modding, this might be an easy option to meet your weatherproofing needs. The third main reason for me has to be the amount of upgradeability you have once you've assembled the board. With the Duo, you have the options to basically run any wheel you want, which is a huge plus in my opinion. Once you have the board itself, being able to fine-tune the board to your needs is the next most important step. Even if you don't plan on swapping the wheels out immediately, the ability and options available to you is important. The Tayto can take the stock 97mm wheels, or you can throw some orangutans on it, or if comfort is the most important, get some cloud wheels and risers to tackle those cobblestone roads in your town. The biggest difference has to be the ability to throw large pneumatics on the Duo. You cannot do that on the Tayto, it just won't work, unless if you decide to run several inches of spacers and have no regard for your safety. I'm joking, please don't do that, I don't want you guys to get hurt. But if you want to take the Duo on some light trails and don't care about range, getting pneumatics will make you feel like you're floating and can make you forget about some of those larger cracks and sidewalks along your commute. Regarding deck swapping these boards, I think you would have a better chance with the Duo's enclosure on another deck because it seems less specific than the Tayto's. I have not tried this, however, so I don't really know it's possible. Moving on to my fourth reason. This goes hand in hand with waterproofing, but it comes down to fit and finish. Both have their flaws, but hands down the Duo is an improvement over the Tayto. The Tayto has no cable protection on the rear and no routing, which could lead to the power lines for the motors getting damaged prematurely. Both have vacuum formed plastic enclosures, however the Duo's is more sculpted compared to the Tayto. Where the Tayto has a blocky, bland enclosure, the Duo is formed in a more refined manner. It appears as if the Duo has a thicker plastic used, but I might be wrong on that one. Besides the deck, enclosure, and cable management, there's almost no difference because all the components are the same. My fifth reason is going to be the grip tape. I dislike both boards in this department. This is mostly personal preference. With the Tayto deck that I have, the hexagonal grip tape slides around if it's only a partial hex because of the lack of surface area, and the grip tape does look good for photos. On the Duo, I like that it's a solid sheet and comes pre-installed, but on the one that I got to take a look at, some of the edges were not trimmed properly and required use of a razor blade to clean up some of the edges. I don't like clear, it only looks really good when it's perfectly clean, and after some dirt gets on it, it looks old really fast. After several rides, the board looks dirty where black grip tape would have helped hide some of that dirt. There's currently an option to upgrade to black grip tape, however I believe that this should be stock on any skateboard. If you are looking at some other mid-range boards, there are others out there that have similar offerings, but I would say that although they might seem similar, the ability to have generic parts on the build kit board saves you from some headaches that current boosted owners are currently figuring out through the proprietary firmware along with custom-made parts. If you want to upgrade or replace parts along the lifetime of either build kit board, you can do so. Compared to something like an X-Way X1 Pro Riot, a board with a sleek design that both build kit boards cannot compare to, but in the sleekness that the build kit boards lack, they make up for in the ability to be upgraded part by part at your heart's desire. I'm more of a tinkerer at heart, so I like having the ability to work on almost every component of the board, something I would not be able to easily do on any of X-Way's or Meepo's offerings. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, please be sure to hit the subscribe button below. I'm going to leave a link to Build Kit Board's website down in the description below if you want to check out some of their products. And I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on these two boards, or if you just steer away from build kit boards entirely. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll catch you in the next one.